Sunday evening. I'm in my car, I've had a haircut, I'm not wearing any makeup. That just about brings you up to speed. I am here to talk about Emma, not a person, but a film. A film based on a book, as you may already be aware, by Jane Austen. Written ages ago, like freaking ages ago. I've got no idea when it was written. So, yeah, Jane Austen wrote the book. It's been adapted many times before, TV adaptations, film adaptations. Famously, there was a version with Gwyneth Paltrow, mid to late 90s maybe, when we all went, oh, isn't Gwyneth Paltrow good at a British accent? It was also adapted as the very popular 90s teen movie Clueless, which I freaking adore. And if you have never seen it, then have a word. Sort yourself out. Clueless is amazing. But the story goes that Emma Woodhouse is a young lady in Highbury, and she very much likes to involve herself in other people's affairs. She's a bit of a matchmaker, a bit of a meddler. The interesting thing about it, if you don't know or you haven't seen a version of it before, she's not always particularly likeable. She is the star, she is the heroine of the piece, if you like, but there are times when you're a little bit like, yeah, I'm not entirely sure that was completely kind or the right thing to do. I think majority of time her heart is in the right place, but she doesn't always get it right. So that's your overview, that's your premise. If you didn't already know, it's about society, it's about relationships, it's about, you know, who's right for who and how things should be done. Obviously, because it's set in #Jane Austen times, there's a lot about propriety and everybody's missed this and missed that, and, you know, it's all very chaste and reserved and stuffy at times. You may wonder why another version was needed. As I said, there are several out in the world already. I must admit, I thoroughly enjoyed this incarnation of Emma. It looked fabulous. The costumes were superb. It's very sort of sumptuous and rich. The lead of Emma is played by an actress called Anya Taylor-Joy. Had a little look at her IMDb. Not actually sure I've seen her in anything else before. She was very good. A lot of really great, this is going to sound stupid, really great face acting, in that, in a sort of silent movie sort of way, she says a lot without saying anything. There's lots of rolled eyes, raised eyebrows, just twitch in the corners of her mouth into the smallest of smiles. So she really was very good, and she is central to everything. Like, there's not many scenes in the film that she isn't in, so I thought she put in a great performance. Very well supported by the cast around her. The role of Mr. Knightley is played by an actor called Johnny Flynn. Again, don't know him. Little bit distracted by the fact that he looks a lot like Ollie Murs. Like, might just be me, but all I kept thinking was Ollie Murs in a period drama. Miranda Hart is in there as well. She was very good. She plays Mrs. Bates, which is a Miss Bates, sorry, which is an awkward role to play. Miss Bates is supposed to be very irritating and gets on Emma's nerves quite a lot, and you're supposed to feel that sort of frustration that Emma feels about her, but at the same time, like, she's a very sweet woman, and yeah, I thought she did that perfectly. Bill Nighy plays Mr. Woodhouse, Emma's dad. He's like Bill Nighy to the max. Like, imagine the most Bill Nighy, and then turn it up to 11. That's where we're at with this film. He does so little, but it's hilarious and wonderful. Yeah, just cracking, solid British period drama. Like I say, really not quite as colourful as The Personal History of David Copperfield, but a lovely, vibrant, shiny adaptation, but being true to the source material and not sort of making it too modern or too, you know, far removed from the source material, like I say, from the text that it started from. I'll hold my hands up and admit I haven't read Emma, the only Jane Austen I ever managed to get all the way through. is Pride and Prejudice. So I thought if you're going to read one, read that one. And I did thoroughly enjoy it. The hard going. But yeah, she was such an incredibly witty woman. And I know from reviews I've read that there are lines and chunks of dialogue lifted directly from the book in this film. And it really does zing beautifully at times. You know, there's some really great dialogue and barbed wit, and you know, it felt, I can't say it felt modern because it didn't, but it didn't feel stuffy and old, considering, like I say, how old the book is. Not that I know how old the book is, but really, really old. It didn't feel stuffy, and it didn't feel like, you know, something your nana would make you watch on a Sunday night. It felt lovely and fresh and oddly current. It's great, but if period dramas aren't your bag, you know, give it a swerve. But if you like them or you're willing to try them, then this is by no means a bad place to start. Great cast, looks lovely, zips along nicely. Yeah, enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. That's it. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe and share the channel if you think anybody else might like to hear me wittering on in a car about films and other stuff. And I will be back with another review soon. Katie out.